मूलम् अधः शाखम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्.
Pranam aunty, welcome to PRANITWA. This is a online festival that we have been conducting. We had started in July with a plantation of a few trees. After the cyclone Amphan, there has been, as you know, uprooting of so many trees in Bengal. So we thought of like returning a bit of green for our future, for the next generation. And with that, we thought of creating an awareness, generating an awareness amongst people about the importance of nature through the views of artists, critics, dancers, scholars, so that like people come to understand and get aware that how much nature is important and how much we artists are also weaved with nature. So this is the second season. We are again conducting a few conversations, and also there will be performances, and finally we have a performance of our own troupe. We have choreographed, I have choreographed a few Margam items on different aspects of nature. So that is what we will be doing. So without any much delay, I will start with your interview. It is just a few informal questions. And we are, first of all, Pranam, and we are really, really privileged and we are grateful that you have given your time for this, Auntie. Thank you so much. We have read a lot of writing of yours, and it would be nice if you could share your views, your year-long experience in the field of art that you have seen, that you have written to relate with nature. So the first question, Auntie, that was there was that relating to dance, you have seen so many kinds of classical dance forms, not only classical folk forms as well. And there has been, must have been depiction of nature in them. You have seen some production, some items, choreographies, different aspects which has dealt with nature in different aspects. Nature is such a wide nature. The term nature is it cannot be limited. It is such a wide. It has such a wide scope of imagination. It has a wide scope of expression. So, from what you have seen, from what you remember, which kind of choreographies or what particularly has left a mark upon you that you can share with us?
Yes, God bless you, Jalsa, for inviting me. I don't know how much I would be able to satisfy you, but however, I will try my best. So actually, I've seen a lot of choreographies and I've been a dancer myself. And I was a student of Guru Gopinath, my revered guru. And he is the one who took Kathakali out of Kerala for the rest of India. And his name is even engraved in Encyclopedia Britannica, that the person who brought Kathakali out of Kerala. But however, he did not restrict himself to what he has learned. What he had learned. He had a lot of choreographic ideas, and for which reason he came into criticism from Kerala Kalamandalam. You can imagine how rigid they are. And so that was that. However, he took one American lady whose Indian name is Ragini Devi, and both of them paired. started off pairing from Bombay, and that's how it became dance became quite popular. He even visited Vishwabharati, and Rabindranath Tagore himself has written a paragraph on him. And he's, I don't know, to me, he's a god. And I have seen him choreograph a lot of things. I grew up almost in his household. And luckily for me, he had a school in Madras those days, Chennai now. As you know, I was brought up in Madras. And though he's a Keralite, Malayali, he had opened a school in Madras. And he used to live in Madras till I left. I joined somewhere in the 50s, 50, I think, when I was hardly 6 or 7 years old, maybe. And I continued till I got married. I got married at an early age. And so I had long years. It was a second home for me, his house. And I've visited places also with him. So that is about me and my guru. But about dance, what I would say, that I remember you wanted to know what is this getting away from nature, what is urbanization, and what is the difficulty that the more technologically savvy we become. I'm very unsavvy, I must say. The more technologically savvy we become, the more we come out that we lose touch with nature. That is not so. I don't think it is so. I think, see, you and you are a modern girl, young girl, but I have always lived in cities. I've never lived amidst nature, so to say. So, of course, when I was growing up, there were a lot of greeneries around, both in Calcutta, my hometown, where I was born, and also where I was brought up in Madras, the present-day Chennai. It was full of greenery, the sea there, and we were in the seaside and all. But now, because of the greed of man, they are forgetting that we have to have greenery also, green zones. But again, due to a lot of grief, people have, like you said, you went out planting trees. So now people have become more and more cautious about having green zones. But basically, I remember you had said previously in your talk that we are getting away from our roots. Actually, I don't think we are getting away from our roots. Technology is a great thing, and this will help us to go forward. And we can't live amidst nature. Living amidst nature is a utopia, at least for me or you also. Because would you be able to live amidst nature? Jungles and where the farmers are living? No. You have learned two forms of dance. That is Bharatanatyam and Kathak. Suppose you had lived in some village somewhere, or not even a village, amidst nature, how would you have learned? So you have got the leisure that has been given to you because of the farmers or whatever it is, not only the farmers, everything else connected with it. We have earned a lot of leisure, and leisure is very much necessary for the arts. Arts cannot flourish without leisure time. And if we have to start from scratch, growing our food, that is not depending on lamps, but electricity. History teaches us, and we take off from there. History has taught us that what we have got electricity thanks to all those people who discovered electricity. We don't have to go around inventing it. Poet Rabindranath Tagore wrote when there was no electricity. Can you imagine? No Google to search his details from. Nothing. Out of nothing, he produced so much. So actually, we are blessed because of technology. We are also blessed because of urbanization, because we don't know any other life. We don't know life amidst nature. So we have to, urban improvement is very much necessary for what shall I say, to improve the lives of people. And if urban areas are improved, even villages and farms and nature will be more improved. Because you see, suppose now you say that urban development is not needed. It is very much needed, because then in a sprawling, say, we have so much, most of the population is in the urban areas, and it's good. We don't have to go for our services to the farmhouses to get it. So now with the invention of all these city centers and malls and all, it's all the more better, because you get all the services in one place. You don't have to use your petrol, or you don't have to pollute the place to get things for yourself. You don't have to go to the farmer to get your product. So I will say urban living is very good. Concentrate on urban living and urban improvement, and also the slums. Slums can be improved, and all that, if it is improved, and if you have less of pollutants, and where industries are there, improve technology in a way that no pollutants, there are less pollutants, and then we are better off. And then, of course, as you said, work. Now we are dealing most of the time with classical dances, and classical dances, unlike say, we have this, the source of classical dance, as we all think, is Bharata's Natya Shastra and the other treatises. But from where did they get the classical dance? They have evolved it from where? From the folk dances, the folk culture, the tribal dances. They don't have any. Yes. Can't hear? Can you hear? I can't hear you.
I can hear you. Hearing is not a problem, but your phone is going down, so your face is gradually getting.
Okay, okay. Because, it was falling off, so I'm holding it. Is it okay now?
Yeah.
With my talking going down, I think. Actually, these classical dances.
Yeah, okay.
As I was saying, classical dances have evolved, and their root are the folk dances and the tribal dances. The tribal and folk dances, and they have taken from, everything is from nature. Nature is there. See, they hear, they see the swaying of the branches, and they have copied that movement. They see birds calling, they have copied those movements. Peacocks dancing. Incidentally, my guru was the first person who made a solo dance, peacock dance, and we were taught. And that peacock dance, I have danced in many places, solo. And not only that, but the thing is, there were no videos or things videoed. When I was younger, I used to show the dance to my daughter. Choreographed it, and it was beautiful. So these tribals and folk people, they have done the peacock dance. They have done that dance of the swan. They have seen swans in the ponds, and they have copied their movements. While they were hunting, they have seen the movements of tigers and lions and all those movements. They have copied elephants, snakes. We all do it in classical dance too, but they are very, very stylized movements, which have been evolved by great people with great imagination and great aesthetic understanding. So that's how it is. And choreographic works, if you ask me, I will tell you. Especially when I've seen many of my gurus' choreographic works. I won't talk about them at this point. But Konark, where I visit every year, at the backdrop of the Konark temple, which is full of sculpturous poses of dancers, and then you have dancers dancing right using the temple as the backdrop, and sometimes they have painters standing by the side and painting. And so they start off, they use the dancers and the backdrop as launching pad, and then they go into their own imaginary world of painting. So that's how it is. It's a wonderful experience that you get, especially when you go to Konark and in that open air dance place. And it's really wonderful. And I think that is the best festival in India that we have, the Konark festival, because of this. Everything is connected. All the arts, sculpture, whether it is sculpture, fluid dancing, music, instrumental music, Sangeeta going on, and then the painter painting. And about that Konark festival, Rabindranath Tagore has said that the language of stone surpasses the language of man. You can imagine what he must have felt in Konark. He did not see at that time the Konark festival didn't start. He has just seen the temple and he has written that line.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I've satisfied your answer.
Okay. So like, yes. So as you say like as choreography, it is all a part. I mean, all forms of art are all connected. And for you, the festival at Konark is a very memorable experience where you feel connected and you feel this flow of the form of art from, be it in all the different forms, that has left a mark in your mind. To deal with, yes, as you were saying, this relation between different art forms, music, sculpture, literature, painting. Every art form is different, but also they are all interlinked. They are all connected. And and also they are all influenced, and they are imbibed from nature, from Prakriti, as I mean. Can you explain a bit about this linkages, this relation between nature and this art form, according to your experience?
Every art form, whether it is painting, cave painting they did during ancient times, prehistoric times, cave paintings, and then you have visual arts. Now at this present stage, we have visual arts like films and all that. And so it has gradually developed like anything. And you can say that everything is connected, whether it is sculpture or whether it's literature, whether it's dance, music, painting, and it's all interconnected. You cannot sort of put them into definite segments, definite compartments. They are so interconnected. As I told you about the Konark example, you have the sculptures behind, and it looks as if they have come alive. In the evening at dusk, they have come alive on the stage. And then they again go back to their respective places in the temple. And then you have the painter painting, the literature, they're using the literature. Sahitya is used by these dance groups, whatever they may have choreographed. And so it's architecture. You take any field of art, they are all connected. So you think that literature, which you have, of course, studied, I think you have studied literature. I have also studied literature, and literature is only if you have an artistic bent of mind, you can successfully do literature. Otherwise, just mugging up answers and writing and getting 40% is not a problem. That can be done. But to rise to great heights, you have to be what shall I say, very imaginative, creative, aesthetically oriented, then only you can be. So take the example of people, our own Rabindranath Tagore, if you say, he has excelled in every field of art, be it literature, be it painting, be it music, be it dance, be it whatever you can name. So even agriculture, I think that also he paid his attention to, and he made his son do, I think, agricultural engineering, if I'm not mistaken. Rabindranath Tagore must have done, and so he put a lot of emphasis on that also. And then he had these batik paintings which he learned from outside, I think, from outside India. So these paintings and these cloth weaving, everything starting from scratch. Even culinary thing, that is also a field of art. We see all these different kinds of cooking that we see. These are all very aesthetically oriented people, to be devising so many dishes and then portraying it in videos we see, in TV programs we see. And I don't know about you and others, but I'm sure if I try out one of them, I won't be able to achieve that great what shall I say, quality that they are doing it. So according to me, all of them are inclusive. All art forms are interlinked, and
Yes.
they are all in.
Yes, and yes, as you were saying, they're linked. And as you were talking about Tagore, as you were giving his example, so can you like specifically mention any work of his that is related to, that is you feel is very much, that has a example of nature that has moved you, some lines that has moved you, maybe a line from anything from a poetry, or maybe a painting, or maybe any work of Tagore that has left a mark?
He's known as a nature poet. He's known
Yes.
as a nature poet. And so I cannot, each of his work has a different flavor. So I cannot pinpoint and say that this work is my favorite. His dance dramas, his individual pieces. And we have, according to the Natya Shastra, they have said we have 8 emotions. Of course, one more emotion has been added later. So 9 emotions. These are unchanging. These emotions are inherent to man. So if you take each of these emotions and try to look for poems written by Rabindranath Tagore, you will find. So I can say that yes, some of the emotions we may prefer more than the other emotions. Like Sringara Ras, we like it more than we like, say, Vibhatsa Rasa. We don't like Vibhatsa Rasa. So all the same, you have all the rasas, all the emotions. And Rabindranath Tagore has spoken on such varied topics that I really cannot have... what shall I say? I really cannot say that this is my favorite and that is not favorite. As you are growing up, you will find that at every stage of your life, Rabindranath Tagore is very important and it is liked by you.
Exactly.
You may have heard of the Bengali writer Sunil Gangopadhyay. He's a very famous and creative writer. And he's the best, I think, of the passing generation, according to me. And he also, in one of his, as we were talking one day, I knew him personally. So he said that whenever I am in trouble, he being such a great writer, he said that whenever he is in trouble, he reverts back to Rabindranath Tagore to give him solace. And so it's the same thing, I think. For me, I'm an ordinary woman. For me also it is the same. And for his dance dramas, because I'm especially fond of dance and I have been a dancer. Once you're into dance, you cannot get away from dance. Because I cannot dance, I write. So that's what it is. And at some point, you can only teach or you can only write, but you cannot perform. And those who continue performing, I think when they are past their peak, they should not perform. That is my feeling. It is for a particular, you should have a particular kind of, your face muscles should not sag. You should have a perfect figure. It's a visual art. So if I take on the role of a Naika, I'm sure I won't look nice, except there are exceptions to that also. Kelucharan Mahapatra at that old age, no hair on his head, and when he impersonates Radha in Gita Govinda, you forget his looks. You feel that she's the best Radha I've ever seen, and so that's a different story. Only few people can have that. So once you're into dance, you cannot get away from dance. So I always refer back to Rabindranath Tagore, many of his dance dramas. And at this point, I remember one song, which was in Meghamallar. The poet's favorite season was the rainy season. And he liked the monsoon like anything. And from his life, if I can say, I have read it somewhere, that once he was going, he had a huge car in which he was going to the station from Vishwabharati. Those days there were no Vishwabharati, from Shantiniketan to the railway station to take a train to Calcutta, the Shantiniketan Express. Then people in his ashram bid him goodbye and all that. And then soon after, they saw his car coming back. When he went at a very slow speed. But when the car came back after dropping him, it came in speed. But the car was coming slowly. So the people said, what happened? The poet has come back. So he said, yes, I don't know who your audiences are. If they know Bengali, I can say that আকাশে এত মেঘ দেখলাম কি করে চলে যাই শান্তিনিকেতন ছেড়ে. So he said, so he came back because he saw clouds in the sky and he found that it will perhaps rain, and rain being his heroine, he came back to be with his so if I can quote lines from that, he has a poem. In Bengali, the poem is, I love the line so much that I remember it all. I don't remember the whole poem, but a few lines I can say. Bohudin pore kon phalgune chinu ami tobo bhoroshaye ele tumi ghono boroshaye. So that was Rabindranath Tagore. So Borosha was for him, the monsoon was his favorite season. As for me, I will say the dance dramas. When I see Chandalika, I feel my eyes welling up with tears at the untouchability practiced. So Chandalika is a favorite. My heart swells with pride when I see Chitrangada, when he says what a woman should be, what a woman is, that a woman is equal to a man. And when I see Shama, I see what a powerful woman can be. And a powerful woman also has her own frailties. And also she has humanity also. In the end, if you read the end lines, there also it's a tragedy, but you will sort of see with her that what it was, that she was full of grief at having sacrificed her life to gain her love. So that also moves me. And the seasons, the songs of the seasons, of course, you can dance so beautifully in them. And for every festival, for him, dance was not only for the proscenium stage, but it was a part of his life. That is why you have all these festivals in Shantiniketan. You have the Bashantotsav, then you have Vrikharopon, as you said, you went and planted some trees. Yes. So he had all kinds of festivals so that dance can be a part of one's life, not only for the stage. So yes, if I do believe in any god, Rabindranath Tagore is my god, because he has poems for every stage in your life. Yes.
Yes, I guess his works, by his writings, is something that will give you solace everywhere, and that's what everybody says, that in every incident of your life, there is something that you will find in his writing that you can
Yes,
and
yes.
it will be a teaching. It will be a teaching for you. It will be a learning
Then
experience for you.
it may just touch your heart.
Yes, it will.
Yes, about that. Yes, about that song, I was going to tell you, but I went in another direction. He has composed that song that Bhanushinge, no, not Bhanushinge Padabuli. Yes, Bhanushinge Padabuli. He has that Shavanu Gagane Ghoro Ghana.
Yes.
That is in, he composed that song when he was just 16 years old. And that he was 16, and that is in Meghamalla Rag. And that is full of nature motifs. And then he has touched upon so many topics in that song. And last of all, he says that I request you not to go out on this stormy night to meet Navala Kishore, to meet Krishna. He says that as Bhanu Singho, I'm telling you, don't go on this night. Tabudash, I am your servant telling you not to venture out in a night like this. And so I was just thinking that Geeta Govinda, there also, Jayadeva writes about Krishna, and we say that Krishna is the God and Radha is a mortal trying to unite. But in one of his songs, I don't know, I may be interpreting it wrong, but in one of his songs, where Krishna thinks Radha is superior, and to him, and he asks her to place, when she's angry with him, he asks her to place her lotus feet on his head. Yes. Dehi tava pallava. Yes. So I was thinking about that song, that, and it's full of nature, where Shravana Gagane Ghora Ghana Ghata, when he writes about that. He writes about the climate, he writes about the plants, he writes about how dangerous it would be for her to venture out and all that. So for me, that is a very, very favorite song. Though I don't have any favorites as such, and but that song makes a mark.
Yes. Because of the detailing and because of such a beautiful description of nature, something like, yes, reading, that is the beauty of literature.
Yeah, actually we are privileged that we can understand and read Bengali. I've never learnt Bengali. I was brought up in the South. So in school and college, I never learned Bengali. But since I'm a Bengali, and Bengali parents have taught me how to read and write, and so actually we are lucky that we can read all his literature and we can understand them at every stage. Maybe at your stage you won't understand all because it doesn't apply to you. But as you keep advancing in years and as the songs keep applying to you, you will naturally appreciate them.
Yes.
That's the beauty.
That is the beauty. Okay.
That's the beauty of knowing the language.
Yes.
Yeah.
Translate, yes, I mean, original is always, translations are, it does not have the exact rasa.
No.
As you say. And yes, the last question is, I think you were talking about this only, about urbanization and all. I'm not talking about the negatives. I mean, it is all like, everything comes with, every coin has two sides. So it is always something at the expense of the other. But just that, as I'm not talking about urbanization in that way. I'm talking about there is that much, at least I think there is a part of our generation or the younger generation who is moving away from the roots, our culture, our there has been always, it is okay that there is a balance of both. Yes, being in this urban life, we have the privilege of seeing both the sides of life. Yes, we can judge, and then maybe we are privileged to take the best of it. But our next generation is somewhere moving away. There are obviously people who are still carrying on, and we will carry on. And it is, I'm not talking about our art culture. This is something that will continue till eternity. This is a cycle, that because it is part of that bigger form, it is a part of that bigger philosophy, our culture, our roots, so that it will not fade off, or it is not something that is going to end. Um in its like literary sense, but I'm talking about this influence of, not talking about West, I'm talking about a different perspective that has come in into the lives of these younger generation. So what according to you is like, what is the message that you should use, you have, that you can tell them, or like that people can hear and people should follow to have a life? Obviously urbanization take the betterment of both, but we have to cling to our root, any form, any, if we are uprooted, then we will be like, we will not be standing as a tree is. Like, we have to stand, and we have to be grounded, we have to be rooted to
Yes.
our culture, rooted to our learnings, rooted to so what is the message that finally that you want to give?
Actually, I would say that take the classical arts. Classical arts are never popular. It was never popular even when I was a child. And not in my school, in my class, I can say only 2-3 girls learned dance and music. The situation is different in Calcutta, in Kolkata. Every home will have someone, will have their girl child, even boys, not dance, but they learn some instruments or something. And almost in every home, very few homes you will find where children are not going to dance schools and painting schools and all that. That's a specialty of Bengal. But where I was brought up, I had they are some of the best dancers today. They were in my school. And you may have, as a Bharatanatyam dancer, heard of Lakshmi Vishwanathan. She was in my school, and she's the very best among her. She was a year, I think, senior to me. And so there were cases like that. And and since my school was in Mylapore, and Mylapore is what shall I say? School was in Mylapore, house was in Mylapore. So that is the most cultural part of the city. And it's a heritage part of the city, because you have the Santhom Church, you have, my school is there, and you have a boys' school also next to it. And so that's a heritage area. And then you have the Kapaleshwar temple very near. And so this Lakshmi and all these people, Kamla Lakshman and all these people, they belong to our school. Kamla Lakshman was much senior to me. Yet I will say, in my class, I think hardly 2-3 girls were learning, not even 2-3. I was the only one in my class. And there was another girl who came from a Brahmin family. Her name was Kalavati. And I want to get in touch with Kalavati at this old age, because it's very striking, you know. She came, the other Brahmin girls of the class did not mix with her. And later I came to, she said that she lived near the temple. And later I put 2 and 2 together in my adult life. Very good looking girl. She knew how to dance. And she came from a Devdasi family. Oh. And that's how the others didn't want to mix with her. So she said, Tapati, Tapati, they can't pronounce my name. Tapati, will you be my best friend? I said, yes, I am. But stop biting your nails, then only. So So that's it. So I want to meet her and get to hear what she had to say. At that young age, I didn't understand anything. So that was it. So even in our days, very few people learn dance. The music, yes. Music also less. Painting, anything. Even in Bengal, you will find, though they are learning, but very few people will appreciate dance, very few people will appreciate music, very few people will become painters and sculptors. So it is given that classical arts always had minimum followers, and even today it will have, and even later it will have. So there is nothing to get perturbed. It will always be the same, but it will not die out. As it has not died out, it will stay. It is there to stay, because anything which is beautiful is there to stay. So classical arts will always stay, and so will folk arts, because the folks have, and to try to think that they are not civilized, these tribes, and they need to be brought to the mainstream, that is very wrong. They should be allowed to stay as they are. Maybe their condition of life could be better. Otherwise, they should not be uprooted from there. For them, to be rooted means to be rooted in their surroundings, to be rooted in their art form. And for me, and also for you, I think you are, I don't know, 2 generations next or next generation. I think you're even younger than my daughters. And so you see, for us, we are rooted very much in the urban areas. I think we cannot live like they are living. We cannot live amidst nature like that. So we are also very much rooted. And those who are following the arts are also very much rooted. Those young people who are not following, they're not made for it. Let's accept it. But there are lots of young people who are doing. Even when they go to foreign countries, they do it.
Yes.
So it's like that. You create a taste in a child. So it depends. Your family created taste in you for the arts. And so maybe many children, when they're very small, they hate going to dance schools because their playtime is taken away, and they hate going to music classes. But when they become adults, they become addicted to it, and they remain stuck to it. And so they will always be there, such people. And there will be people who won't be in it. You can't suddenly expect that, say, now they say, I'll say, as a teacher, I've been a teacher all my life, teaching in schools, senior classes and all that. So teaching, they say that the standard of education has gone down. I don't think so. Standard of education hasn't gone down. I don't think. I think it is there. This is, I'm just going off the topic a little bit, but I'm just telling you. See, now when I'm teaching history, say I'm teaching about the freedom struggle, what happened and little prior to that. So I also went to my history class, and half the things the teacher doesn't have so much of time to explain to me, the full thing. I come back home and tell my parents, what is this freedom movement? Who is this? And what is that? So they are telling me. So a lot of homeschooling is done. So it is not only that I go to school and my teacher teaches me, homeschooling is there. Now, a mechanic who is repairing a car, he's under the car lying down and repairing the car. His daughter also, I had a student like that. His daughter is studying. His son is studying in my class. And now when I'm teaching the freedom movement to that boy, he doesn't go home and get a feedback. His father is a car mechanic lying down. He has the money to send his son or daughter to, say, convent schools and missionary schools. And so they have taken Catholic schools. They do take all people from all strata of society. So they have studied. So there is no, so when I give them an exam, those children fare badly. And then we say standard of education has gone down. It hasn't gone down. It has infiltrated. You see? Okay. So nothing goes away. So there's an improvement. Even a mechanic's child is coming to study in these schools. In my time, how many of us studied in convent schools? Your time is different. Tell me anyone who is above 75 and who is convent educated. You can only count with your hands.
True.
You see?
Yes.
So the standard has gone up.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Yes. If you look
And
at
my
that
message for
perspective.
the younger generation is that whatever you may do, whatever they like, nowadays they're very fond of singing, I think, all those English songs and jazz and all that. They're all very good. And so sometimes they may not be interested in all that. Every second house you will find there is a band party. They are playing the guitar and whatnot. They have bands, especially boys. And of course, and the girls, they want to learn all those modern dances and all. So whatever they do, they have to do it properly and leave a mark. Leave a mark for the generation next. And not all are imaginative, and not all are possessed with, what shall I say, very creative qualities to produce something good. I may be just an ordinary person who has learned everything but cannot make anything new. So at least don't spoil what you have inherited. Pass it on as it is. That is my message. If you can't be creative, you don't have to try to do it. You have learned something, learn it properly, and just be a medium through whom, parampara, through whom it passes, whether it is music, whether it is studies, whether it is classical dance or whatever, or modern dance, the so-called modern dance. Do it properly, do it to leave a mark, whatever you do. And that is the most important thing in today's world, with everything going wrong. What are you talking about the younger generation? What is the older generation doing? What are they doing? Are they taking us in the right direction? Okay, so no use blaming the younger generation. I wouldn't blame them. So that is my message to them. Leave things as it is for the next generation if you cannot bring about a change, good change.
True. At least don't spoil anything or anybody. It's not only the younger generation, it's for everyone.
Yes.
And that is what it is, our festival, and this awareness is also about. Yes, it is not that everybody can go around and plant trees. I'm just talking about. Everybody cannot make a difference. Like, yes, maybe you feel like maybe it is not my capability to do it. But at least don't misuse, or yes, at least don't, whatever is there, at least let it be there. If you don't have the capacity to create, don't destroy also.
Don't destroy. Yes, you cannot create, don't destroy. Or leave something, leave a mark.
And if you can, yes, obviously your work should be such that you can leave a mark. Be it in anything, and whatever you do it with dedication and yes.
Classical dances and performances will always be there. Where would you be without technology if you couldn't have taken this? You couldn't have dance performances.
Everything has a that is what, and we have been adapting to situations. 6 months of lockdown and pandemic, we shifted to this online resort, which we never thought was possible. We never imagined. So many webinars, so many conferences. There has been a lot of experience, lot of learning. We have learned so much in this 6 months. Maybe first 1 month we all were a little bit
we were confused
what to do. We were a little panicked, everybody, but then we adapted, and that is what that is why we are human, and we are in the top of the ecosystem. We change our way of
so much from the younger generation. what is a Zoom to me? It means nothing. I cannot do it. The younger people have to teach me how to do it. You see,
Yes.
nothing is possible without any, what shall I say, the coming generation. They are so full of life, and I think they are a very good lot. They are a very good lot. And I hope they remain so when they become adults and old. And that's the thing. That's what I feel.
Yes, so as like, yes, hope everything becomes better, hope everything
Yes.
goes on in a positive way so that we can move on positively and this world will continue, art forms will continue, we will live and life will go on.
Yes.
Okay, Auntie, thank you so much. This is, I think, it was nice hearing from you. It was nice talking to you. It was nice hearing about your views on Tagore, be it on life, be it on your message for the younger generation, for everyone. Thank you so much for giving your time for us. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts in our festival, Auntie. Thank you so much, Pranam, Auntie.
Thank you for also inviting me and making me talk. And thank you for everything.
Thank you. Okay, Auntie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaskar. Angikam bhuvanam yasya vachikam sarvabangmayam aharyam chandra taradi tam numha swatikam shivam. So, nature and dance and music is very much relevant with each other. From this sloka, we all get to know where it is described like the whole world is like the Angik of Lord Shiva, and all the sound elements are like his speeches, and stars and moon are like the ornaments, and we bow to that divine Shiva. So from this sloka, we all get to know like how important nature is for our dance and music. And PRANITWA, like the concept that is conceived by Jalsa Chandra, it's so unique and so important for today's time, because yes, we most of the time with the dancer or the musicians we use the different references of like nature, like as the creepers, moon, stars, everything, and water, rain. So these all we use in our dance. And here today we are going to watch two of my compositions through my two students, Sayari, Bhunia and Oishika Ghosh. They will be depicting the different references of nature through their dance. The first one will be through a bandish, like using the different tukra, toras, gat, tatkar and all. And the second one is about the rainy season, and it's in Bengali, a Nazrul Giti, Nazrul song written by Kazi Nazrul Islam, very much contemporary, like poet, writer during Rabindranath Tagore. And I tried to compose both with these two young and very new dancers. So hope you will enjoy. Thank you.
प्रभुदाता सवन के प्रभुदाता सवन के प्रभुदाता सवन के प्रभुदाता सवन के तोरट मन गड़ी परछना दूर करे मन गड़ी परछना प्रभुदाता सवन के Sava